Original menu board.
Wow.
Built the structure here, like literally down the street, State Lumber, built it. This has changed because the original logo was black and white, but built that. It's been here all
The
these
menu
years.
hasn't changed, but this menu has changed.
Exactly, right? We
Yeah.
had a big blank wall out here, and it was just kind of ugly, and then I was like, we got to do something out there, a mural, and that's where we took the bread mural from inside that we uncovered and then put the big Canes logo up here because this was the original logo I did a sign shop in all about 10 minutes, the black and white, this oval, Raising Canes.
Yeah, well, they tell you to, what all the theory behind it. Red makes people hungry and
Yeah.
all that. Black and white, maybe not as appetizing.
It's kind of a cool look, but it wasn't as appetizing as that, the red, the yellow, the white, the black popping through.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get lucky, right? And you have these
Yeah.
inspirations, and there you go. Here's my baby, mothership. What do you think?
It's unlike any Canes that I've ever been to.
Yes.
It's smaller and but it's you can tell it was the start of something. That's for sure. Wow.
It was just like shotgun shack, right? In Louisiana, they have these deals. The whole idea is like shoot a shotgun from the front door out the back door,
Yep.
right? And so it was just a shack. And so it had all this different paneling on the walls. So it had been 100 different things. It was at one point, it was like a arcade. So we found this old paneling that was rainbow painted for the arcade. Started pulling all that off, and then I found this layer of all these old like cypress, plank boards that went, and I was able to put together just enough
Just for this stretch.
for this, because the rest of them were like all battered and ripped up and things like that. So I was able to do this stretch, and this side got down to this stucco, right? And then so one little part had brick down there, and I got a crowbar, and I started, giving it character all the way down. I was like, this is looking good, till I got down to this. And I'm like, wait, what's behind that? And so I uncovered this old bread mural from a bakery in the 1930s in Louisiana, right? And literally, I was like, I took it as a sign,
Yeah.
that it was great. And so literally we took this exact design, and we had the big wall outside that was just big and bare. And we said, let's do a Canes mural the exact same way, which we had the Wolf's Bakery. We used the same type of font, the white with the black relief behind it. Up here, it was talking about real. That's what became the Raising Canes.
Yeah.
And on the bottom, it says bread at its best. We put chicken fingers down there, which became our long-term logo.
Yeah,
which is the right.
You got it there,
Got it here, man.
Yeah.
I mean, literally on the thing, it's like taking stuff as a sign and means something, right? And the colors were great, and all that just fell into place for us, right?
Yeah, what are the odds? It's the fast food colors,
Yes.
and
100% fast food colors. What are the chances of that, right?
Yeah.
And amazing. So we did all the work ourselves, because I didn't have much money to put on expenses of things. So like we built like this old bar here where people could come up. Mind you, this is like it's almost 29 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That we built
Still
this.
going strong.
Still going strong. And if you worked here and helped me, you got to put your name in here, right? So I put Graves. 8/10/96, right? 1996. We did it, and people would come and put their names, different parts of the deal. Broyles helped out, Coulard. There's different names around. That was kind of how they could put their mark on.
Who were all these guys? Were they early
friends and
early
family,
helpers?
Yeah, they just were willing to come out and help out. Like, we can't pay you anything. They said, no, we want to be a part of it. We'll help you out, And people could learn to paint. They could learn to do all these things, and to go and we put things like, with the cane, we got pictures of Cane, like original, like that's the original Cane. I could get him dressed up as anything. I could put a golf club in his mouth, teed up to a ball, right?
I bet he would love to wear Elvis's sunglasses.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt, right? He would wear them.
Right.
I was a big, Elvis fan, so I wanted to have a velvet Elvis. Well, we couldn't find a velvet Elvis, so they found a velvet towel, Elvis towel.
It's pretty close.
At the mall, so close enough. So Elvis is carried on in the things we do.
So what's the big Elvis love?
I think Elvis has had such amazing style and
just
incredible talent, that stuff I just like draw inspiration on, just an amazing person. It's like, the king, and having these artifacts around the king keeps me inspired to keep our marketing up, right?
Wow.
Of course, we're here at LSU on the campus here, all the way down. Here's some original pictures of when we did the construction.
Yeah.
And actually, we cataloged it. We weren't thinking anything more than just it was special to us, and let's remember this time. And one of my original crew members, she put it all together in a collage, and then we hung it here, right? Look, if you don't have the money or a tight budget, shoestring budget, it's like you learn how to do these things. So I'm on an auger, literally borrowed a friend's mother's tractor, went through the property, shredded it out. I couldn't do the concrete, laid the concrete, but we helped finish and do everything to where we could save money. And look, for us, we wanted to keep it classic, kind of like that's my tree house now. Old cypress, Louisiana. These are old reclaimed cypress boards, right? We did that, and then we had
what's the deal with the disco ball? I gotta hear about the disco ball.
Well, like we had a skylight, and I'm like, what do we do with a skylight? And so we're like, well, we'll finish it out with the wood. Let's put something fun up there. Like, what do you want to do? And someone said, hey, let's do stained glass. I'm like, that could be fun. And someone said, hey, how about a disco ball?
More fun.
Let's do the disco ball, right? More fun. And we put it up there. Now you see these disco balls up. The theme carried over to all the Raising Cane's, where we do big, glorious disco balls, 3 of them spinning. But taking these icons, right, from the beginning and carrying them over in your business, that means it's special things. Where we came from, right? Here's where we came from.
And so you'll find a lot of this stuff in every Cane's, right? You got a mural, you got a disco ball.
We got Cane's mural, disco ball, Velvet Elvises on the wall. We got an artist, a special Velvet Elvises. All those things are carried over, and it means something to us and our crew.
And it was just stuff that you thought was fun at the time.
When you work 1 year at Raising Cane's, your 1 year anniversary award is a hard hat. From when I worked in the hard hat in refineries and wore a hard hat. And year 5, you get a sockeye salmon to be your, that we fished in Alaska to do that. So these things, they mean something. I think so many companies now, they go hire a great marketing firm and they make up these icons and not on the stories. They really don't. They're made up. They're things that go. If I tell entrepreneurs, as you go, document what you're doing and things that are special to you, and carry that over into what you're doing in the future. Like this location, I'll have all the managers come to this location and see it and walk it with me. We get pictures here and do it because I want them to know we got big shiny restaurant buildings now. Like this is where we came from. This is our soul.
Right.
They take that back to their communities across the country.
Yeah. So all right, and so then the menu. Let's talk about the menu. Hasn't changed, right, since day one. Have you changed anything at all? Is there anything you ever added and then took off the menu? Anything you've really tweaked?
No, this is what's wild is same SKUs in the restaurant from day one. But when we started off, we had just the chicken finger meal, and you can get sweet tea or lemonade and get that. But it was just one way to get it, and it wasn't comboed, right? And so learning progression, when I got to about, 7 restaurants, and I knew we were really going to take it out regionally, I brought in some great people, called them partners, and they came in and they were like, actually from Ohio. The McCarthy family, and they came in. They were like, "Hey, you need to combo your meals." I'm like, "Why?" Because I said that's real what quick service does. I want to be anti. It's like, but your drink incidence is high, and you're making money through your drinks. More people will get drinks if you make it easy and combo it. So I added the combo. They also said doing a little smaller meal and a little bit bigger meal will also be good to add. So we added the Caniac, then we added the 3-finger combo, and that's the only thing we changed. The only thing we added.
So all you did was group it together. People said you need to add all this new stuff, you need to change, you need to add new concepts.
No.
And you took all that and you said, okay, you can put it into groups.
Right. We bundled it differently, right?
That's it.
The only thing we added that we didn't have day one is fresh squeezed lemonade. And the reason why is we went through the school year, and then summer it got slower. And I was like, what is a product we can do that will signify summer but be as high quality as us? Lemonade, lemon, sugar, and water. And that's the only thing we've added in 30 years, and don't plan to add anything else. Look, I won't even add dessert because I think it loses focus on what we do.
Do you feel that you're able to execute so much better because you only have a limited number of things?
Absolutely.
Right? And so does that keeps the lines faster, it keeps the food fresher, it keeps everything simpler? Is that
100%.
That's the theory behind that?
Exactly what it is. You know what you're coming to order. So it goes quick, right? And when you have a drive-through business, we make tiny margins on large volumes. So you want people to be fast. Speed is key. So they know what they're getting. And then if I added menu items, it wouldn't even just add to the speed. It would add to hold times, different products, different things. I wouldn't have that quality. Because we have this focus menu, we can deliver with fast food, speed, and convenience, but in a cook-to-order fashion. So it's like homemade going through the line, cooked. We don't have hold times. We don't have heat lamps. We don't have things like that. It's just a fresh product served quickly.
And so do you ever worry that of the veto vote you were talking about earlier, losing sales that way? You think you make more of it up by just knowing who you are and sticking to it?
Yes, having a craveable meal that people want and serving it with fast food, speed, and convenience is the key. Absolutely the key. If I change that, I would change my concept. My concept's quality food served with fast food, speed, and convenience. If I added menu items, then it would add to It would take away from the quality because you'd have different stations. You'd have to have it. You had to put it under heat lamps to do it. You'd lose that. Or if you tried to do it all cooked to order that way, you couldn't deliver it with the speed. So staying focused, that's the concept. Don't get off that concept.
What about even just, something simpler, right? Putting some Cajun spices and just, having a spicy tender or something like that.
It would add another one decision point, which would go down on speed. And then secondarily, you take away from our fully flavorful already product that doesn't need that. Look, if somebody wants a Nashville hot chicken, they go somewhere else and get that. For us, you're coming to this flavorful meal that's not regional. It works around the country and works in other parts of the world. The same product around the world. That is absolutely key. If you try to be all things to all people, you're going to not serve any of them. You won't be special. Don't be all things to all people. Do what you do well and execute on it brilliantly every day.
Yeah, okay.
And look, for the veto vote, it's interesting because that's what so-called experts told me, that you're going to lose somebody in the car that wants to get something else. Not true. Our average unit volumes are the highest in the industry. Us and Chick-fil-A are of the highest and way beyond everybody else. And my average unit volumes being that high with other restaurants that have all this variety and different things that going, I proved it out.
Yeah. And what about, do you worry that the trend will change, right? That the interest in chicken tenders, chicken fingers is going to decline, or the price of chicken is going to go up or something like that, where you're not, you're not hedged. All your eggs are in one chicken basket, right?
100% we are, yeah.
How much do you worry about that sort of stuff?
I don't at all, because it's fried chicken, which is a staple around the world. Chicken fingers are of the most popular menu items in the world. It's chicken fingers, it's hamburgers, it's pizza, it's all the major things that go. And so any trend that goes, and we see it, and I love what some of these people are doing, the Korean chicken and these different ideas, and Asian chicken, different way they're going, we don't get hurt by sales from them, because they'll go get that chicken one way, and they'll come get the chicken from us another way. It's the number one protein of the world, right? So supply chain stays up because the demand is there. So we're all in. It's a resilient protein, and the food supply system is safe with that, so that's why we're all in.
Within just a few moments of being at the first Raising Cane's location, you could tell that Todd is in and out all the time and very involved in the detail of his business.
Ever since I've been to Cane's, he's always stopped in the restaurants and high-fiving the crew, seeing the crew, checking in, and he really cares about everything that they're thinking about. And anytime that we give him ideas, he really takes those things to heart.
Jesse here, the crew back here. Jesse. Come on, y'all come in and out. Go. Look, original fry line here, right? All this. How's it going? Give you the elbow. How are you? Great. And so what's important of this, you see this whole line?
Yeah.
You can see orders come in. Everything comes from the freshly grilled toast all the way down through chicken and fries. That, they make it and they get it out the door. Because you have this system going is, you know exactly what orders are coming in, so you cook to order. If it's busy, you cook a little ahead. If it's slow, then you pull it back. But you can see all this when you're cooking. If you're a restaurant guy, this is heaven. It's not multiple lines going to see all this.
You got nothing under a heat lamp. Everything is just
straight through.
Simple and fresh and right out the door.
Remarkably high volumes.
Remarkably
high volumes. The size of our kitchen.
How many hours do you think you spent in here?
Oh God, millions. I mean, look, I lived here, right?
You did your 10,000 hours and then some, right?
100%, man. I spent so much time counting tills. They didn't have technology back then. You couldn't run through dollar bill things. You actually counted everything out, every penny. Doing that, working schedules, doing the next deal, jumping back on the fry line, jumping back on drive-through, in and out. Yeah.
Wow.
This is it. This is the engine.
Nothing in here comes in frozen. You get
all
raw
fresh.
Chicken in here.
That's right. Yeah.
And they bread it here.
Yeah.
Deep fried here.
Hand battered and breaded. And look, it's milk and egg batter. It's top quality flour with the special seasonings we have in there. All herbal, all great. And it's been the same way we've done it from day one. The new challenges with supply chain is open up in different regions, making sure it all tastes the same.
I got to do my very own celebrity-style Raising Cane's drive-through takeover. How full do you go? All the way.
There we go. Nice. Good.
And then we just cap it.
Sorry. You just grab a lid there.
First lemonade.
He's pretty good, huh? All right, 1 minute. 1 minute. See, it's served fresh.
Gotta be as fresh as possible.
And you want that food coming in fresh like that, right?
Details guy, I get it.
Yeah, it's 100%, man. You'd rather be waiting a little bit for your food than your food waiting on you, right?
Yes.
I feel like with the first location being right here on LSU's campus, It's a big part of LSU and Baton Rouge's identity.
Here, everyone is flocking to the Canes after the game, and it just feels like one giant family interacting with each other. So it's a really cool experience. Just can't beat the consistency that Canes has. So it's just really incredible.
Full disclosure, I've had Raising Cane's before, but it's a little different when you're eating it across the table from the billionaire who created the brand.
So here it is. It's our meal. Box combo, 4 golden fried chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries, buttery, garlicky toast, cane sauce, and coleslaw.
Here it is. This is everything. This is everything you serve sitting on this table right now.
That's what it is, man. Dig in.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go for one of these first.
You can taste the quality, right?
That's a billion-dollar idea right there, believe it or not.
That it is. Every meal all over the world should taste just like that it does here in the mothership.
Yeah.
Todd, are you awake?
One thing Graves is great at is getting celebrities to promote Raising Cane's. I want to talk about celebrities for a little bit. Yeah. So there are a lot of celebrities that, pitch Raising Cane's. Your marketing budget has to be enormous. How does that come about, and how much do you spend on that, and how do you see the role of marketing and promoting this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, marketing is so important, right? Best form of marketing is solid operations, right? You can market something, if you can't deliver on a great product or service, then you won't make it, right? But like with quick service food, it's top of mind is the key. There's a lot of good places to go eat. You want Cane's to be in their head when they're making a decision. So if you're driving to work in the morning, there's going to be a billboard that you see Cane's at, or you're going to hear it on the radio when you go. And normally during lunch and you're at the office, right, people are like, hey, where do you want to eat? That person has at Cane's, and everybody loves Cane's, and you go to Cane's, right? Or you sold on TV the night before, it might show mom or dad picking it up for the family. Next day, they're going to say, hey, top of mind, I'm going to pick up food for Cane's when you go home. And so general broad advertising, look, just quick service restaurants, total budget off sales is 3 to 4%. That's how much money we put into to marketing to keep our brands top of mind. I like to tie into celebrities who are Caniacs, ones that love Cane's, ones that I have a relationship with, so it's that organic connection. And people can see whether it's a paid endorsement or it's somebody that really loves the brand. And I love to tie into their fans, right? And it's whether it's sports or entertainers, artists, their massive fan base. They might already be a fan of Cane's and go to Cane's, but once their person that they're a fan of is totally into Cane's, it builds long-term loyalty.
Yeah, and so how do you find those celebrities that are Caniacs?
For me, it's got to be organic. It's got to be people that love Cane's, and I don't like going around hitting up people to come endorse a product that they might not be crazy about. So just about all of our relationships we have with celebrities is coming from, hey, they wanted to meet the Cane's guy. They love Cane's, they heard the story and wanted to meet, and the ones we make friends with and do it after that period, we make a good friendship, and that's when we'll go and we'll do a deal if it makes sense for both parties. I became friends with Post Malone, and Post loved Cane's. He grew up on it, loved it, and he wanted to meet the Cane's guys. So his people called my people. Post liked to invite Todd out and his family out to see a show, and come out and do it. So I went and watched the show, and then we met afterwards and enjoyed. Then we went back to his house, and we became friends that way. And so it was several years that we had the friendship. And then we started talking about doing something together. And, I was like, well, what do you want to do? He's like, man, I want to own some Cane's. I just want my own Cane's. I was like, well, that's a fun idea. I said, but, to actually own it, you're not going to be frying chicken just like I'm not going to be up on stage with you. Yeah. How about we do some Post Malone restaurants where you want to put them. You design it exactly how you want it. And let's have fun with that. And then we'll split the profits of the restaurant, which worked out great. Post got to design some crazy restaurants. He was like, what's the budget? I'm like, nothing. You do whatever you want to do. So you create this big pink restaurant with pneumatic ping pong balls going through it and all this merch and memorabilia, made it really special. And we wanted his ideas and from his team versus us go in and think what we're going to do. And it came something really special. And now people will do layover flights in Dallas and in Salt Lake. They do later flights of the day just to be able to go to that Raising Cane's, Post Malone Raising Cane's, and then fly wherever they're going. Crazy.
So those are really organic, deals. All these, because the list of celebrities is very, very long. It's a lot of people. So you really these are people that are mostly coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Their teams call and say, hey, and it always starts with they'd like to meet. So just look. I was on the phone yesterday with Kevin Hart, and I got to meet him, and he was at the Super Bowl, and he came by the suite, and our friends knew each other. Then we got to get a rapport together, and then I was just recently out in LA, and then we met up together, and then like he called and said, hey, I want to do, he's got some really cool ideas, right? But it came from knowing each other and the friendship behind it. Then it comes out organic, cool, real, genuine, which that's what consumers are looking for, real things, not corporate paid gigs, right?
Yeah, and do you think that's a big part of the success, is that all the branding and everything feels that it's real, and it doesn't feel like it's coming from a marketing agency.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got it's real relationships, right? It's a founder of a company with this superstar that loves Canes, and we love what we do together, and we'll always do charity things together and support their foundations. So it's full circle. People today can see through corporate things so quickly. It's a turnoff to them, and then the brand's not special anymore, right? You have these celebrities around that are doing cool things and working hard and doing good for community and things like that. It really amplifies your brand.
Yeah, and so what do you see as your role in all this? You've got the Canes shirt on now. I see, you've changed into some corporate branding, and what's your role now at Canes? How much are you overseeing the day-to-day? How much of it is, sort of playing the chicken man, the main guy?
Yeah, so my role now is to make sure the company is like living our values, right? Our non-negotiables, right? So like one of the non-negotiables is always use the highest quality ingredients. They'll never be touched. We could save so much money, make so much more money for the short period. If I have to lower it on quality, that's never going to happen. Taking care of our crew, making sure the culture's there, making sure we're bringing in people from outside the company that share and are aligned with our vision and values, and then people from within have growth opportunities, right? So it's scaling that same culture we've had since this location almost 30 years ago goes to every location. And then on the marketing end, it's me getting out there, organic, founder driven, great relationships, great celebrities, and doing really cool marketing.
Yeah, and it seems like you've been you're out there a lot, and maybe getting out there even more. So, do you see that as a big benefit? Are you yourself, in some ways becoming a celebrity, and are you, trying to be a celebrity?
Interesting.
Trying to fight it,
Interesting. Yeah, no. So like for me, it's great because I'm around these superstars, so it's always the attention's on them, and I'm like the chicken finger guy, like hanging out and doing that and being myself, right? And so that's where we make these fun relationships. For me too, as a business person, when I hang out with these celebrities, whether they're world-class athletes or artists, entertainers, they're all driving for success, right? They're all grateful. Not all of them, but the ones that I align myself to, I can get inspired, I can learn. So it's just like, hey, look, if I'm tired on a Friday morning and it's early and I got all these things to do, I'm like Post Malone's working hard right now. Joe Burrow's working hard right now. Snoop Dogg's working hard right now too, doing good for the community and doing things. So it pushes me to do well. I'm around business people all the time. That's why they like me too, because it's not another athlete, performer, entertainer. It's from business. So it's that gets really keeps us all inspired, right? And we can learn, and I'm constantly educating myself. So as a business grows, things change, right? And learning how to navigate those things, learning how to use technology for your advantage. We're doing great register systems. We can take orders outside, mobile, things like that, keeping us up, keep the same menu, and doing the same thing we've done for all these years, but staying up to date on technology and things to help our people do their job better and serving the customer better. I'll give you the $150,000, and I'll go 25%.
Todd, you animal. Why would you undercut me like that?
I want to talk about Shark Tank for a second.
Oh, yeah.
You were on Shark Tank. You were a guest shark for a couple episodes. What was that experience like? Why did you decide to do it? And how was it?
Shark Tank, when they called and wanted me on the show, I was thrilled because I'm a fan of the show, right? I love entrepreneurship. I love how the sharks do that. I like the values they teach and things like that. So I'm like, look, plus it'd be a lot of fun. I always thought about it, right? I'm like, man, it'd be really fun to be on Shark Tank. And, I did it for several reasons. One, promote the business, always promoting Raising Cane's. Two was like really helping out entrepreneurs, and so whether I was going to invest or not, I could help and give good advice, from the things I know, and they could pick that up. And then, three, I wanted to go do some deals and compete with sharks, man. So it was a really great experience. You go in the morning. We filmed all day, like 10 hours. You don't know any of the pitches at all. You don't even know what's coming out. They come out, it starts, and then you get to battle with sharks. And man, you really, really have to get your questions in and do it. And I was a little nervous going in because I'd never done this, and they're all so good at it. All the sharks are good. I was friends with Mark Cuban. He introduced me to everybody, and everybody was wonderful. Damon's wonderful. Lori's wonderful. Mr. Wonderful's wonderful. They're all great people, and they said, hey, look, let's have some fun. Let's do some good. Let's go chop it up. So I had to go in there, and the producers told me, like, you're going to have to interrupt. And it took me, I'm from the South. You don't do that. It took me a couple of pitches, and I couldn't get my stuff in. And then I started just interrupting in the middle of the sentence, and nobody cared. Isn't that wild? But it's all great. We got to battle for some deals. I was able to do several deals. And they're doing great.
Yeah, how are they doing? Yeah, what's
fantastic. I mean, the show's platform itself, sales went up after they got a deal on Shark Tank from 300 to 1,200% on sales year over year during that time period. I mean, it increased sales that much. And look, these are driven entrepreneurs, so they're very smart and they're very passionate. Few things on mistakes I've made or different ways to do things and to do it helped them out. They think it's a great partnership, and they're all doing great.
Yeah, it was interesting, the one pitch that they were asking for an equity investment, and you said, I'm not going to do that. I'll give you a loan, but I think you should hold on to your ownership of your company, and hopefully they're doing all right now. But
they're doing great. They just didn't have a lot. They didn't have a lot of value in equity at this point to do it. So to make sense financially, I had to take the majority of their company. I'm like, you're not going to come this. You'd be basically working for me. This is your dream, but let's do a higher interest rate that I did. But you can just pay a little bit on interest and things like that, so it'll be set up right, and they're doing great.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. It was, you can't become Todd Graves if you give up so much of your company right off the rip. So it's just really interesting to see, sort of tell them, learn from me here. The reason that I'm this great success is because I didn't let somebody else take control of this thing.
Exactly. I was able to talk to him about franchising. I'm like, I can tell that you're such a passionate, detail-oriented founder of your business. Let me tell you why I don't think you should franchise and you should open company models. But if you know what you're getting into, you are going to lose some of the quality and the control and things like that. So that's fun. It's paying it forward to entrepreneurs just since I've been around the block a little bit.
Yeah.
How's the tenders?
They're as good here as anywhere. That's for sure.
And you're not a slaw guy, huh? I'm not either. That's why at Cane's you can trade out your slaw for extra
That is
fries,
so interesting. You put four things on the menu, and one of them you don't really care for.
I don't care for.
That's pretty funny.
Coleslaw people say it's good. And I'm like, no slaw is really good to me.